Hello and welcome to the Warcraft 3 audio commentary. This is going to be a 1v1 game on the map Last Refuge, and this is going to be a human versus elf match. And I play this map, this matchup in a specific way. And I've been trying to work out, like, how to play this really aggressive style against elf, because a lot of elves like to do some sort of aggressive ancient war creeping. I actually didn't punish this guy that hard because I was a little bit confused on when he got his hero. But he's gonna be going for a tavern build, and I did recognize this was a tavern build when I scouted him, because I didn't see his hero finish building and all that stuff. And I'm doing a tavern build myself, so I can scout really quick with a footman and go from there. I saw that he was really late on his altar. I should have been. I got to be honest. What I thought happened was, the guys. I think his MMR was like 1501 or something. I don't think he had been placed in a tier yet, so I thought he might have just been a poor player. Doing a tavern build, but I didn't see his archer sneak in there and grab the tavern hero. So I thought his wisp, he was gonna have to go there with a wisp, and so I just missed it. So yeah, he got it before. So yeah, that was just an oversight on my part. I thought he was just late on getting his hero, but he actually snuck it out there. The second, I forgot the second footman was like chasing a wisp there. So that was my mistake to let him. I should have, if I would have known that he actually had already gotten his hero, I would have been trying to go right at this and I would have just obliterated this strategy. Like this is just 3 dead archers. Like there's at least 2, maybe not 3. But anyways, I go for this wisp, and I'm hanging around the middle thinking he's gonna have to try to bring a wisp here, but he obviously already has his hero. So this was a poor. I thought he might have like 1 wisp coming. He does have a wisp here, but he doesn't need to bring it to the tavern. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't see him coming, so maybe he just got a regular hero or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, he's doing this really aggressive camp. So he actually does, he gets to do this basically for free, but he does lose the Ancient of War as well. So this is a big problem for him because he can't produce units anymore. I don't really, I don't realize that he actually lost the Ancient of War for a while. So, but anyways, I'm gonna go for these wisp killers. He's not in range. I'm like, oh gosh, he's done the Merc camp. I'm like, geez, I missed it. He's got level 2. He's got the bears. I'm a bit annoyed at myself for missing it, but I'm still in a decent position here. It's just not. It's quite as easy as it should have been for me. I'm gonna miss micro one of these footmen, and I'm actually gonna end up losing it because I don't take it out of the control group. And it's that one. It comes back, and I'm like, oh gee, or no, it's not that one. Even though that one did come back, it's this one. This one just barely, yeah, it doesn't quite get away. So yeah, I say he's putting out a lot of damage with the bear and the mercs that he's got. So he has to finish that actually with that merc. So that's a bit silly. So yeah, I killed this archer and I run. What I'm gonna do is try to grab a boots of speed and dust of appearance here, but the stupid shop does not. I'm trying to click my hero with it. Wasn't close enough or didn't sort of recognize that the hero was there. So I didn't get to get the boots or the dust. So I was pretty tilted about that. But I'm just gonna grab that, and now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back. I've got the boots. I've got the dust. He should be light on units. He's lost quite a lot of lumber harvesting from wisp, but he actually does still have tons of lumber. So how many wisps does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he does have the 7 wisps out there. So his lumber is actually not in as bad a shape as I thought, but his tech was delayed. I think he probably rebuilt wisps. I don't know, but anyways, we have an engagement. I'm gonna have defend really shortly. He had to burn a TP to get back to his base. And now he's pretty mad, apparently. He's almost level 3. He honestly should have just crept 1 more camp for 3. Like, if he went the owl, level 2 owl is going to just be incredibly powerful against these footmen. It's going to be a game changer, to be honest, against this strategy. Because other heroes like the Keeper, he hits 3, and he can get entangled. This guy's asking me if I always play like a fag. Oh, it's pretty terrible. Uh, but anyways, it's a game changer because like versus the keeper, yeah, level 2 entangle is a big deal, or level 2 treant is a bit of a big deal, but it's not quite like I can still. I mean, it's still gonna not still gonna be strong, but a flying unit that does 200% damage to the footman. Oof, it's not going to be easy for me to really counter that because the only thing I can really hit it with is the Naga. I'm going to basically have to start making rifles to deal with that, or grab one of these Mercs if I can. But the fact that he lost the Ancient Allure was actually a huge deal. It's going to build an Ancient Allure there. He needs to build another one. I don't know what he's doing. He's got tons of resources. The fact that he's not building 2 lures and grabbing, he's getting a second hero, the Demon Hunter. I would say just grab a Panda and roll, or even a Dark Ranger, but probably a Panda is going to be the easiest. Second hero versus this. The Demon Hunter's annoying, and he can go in on the Naga. The problem is if he gets out of position with the Demon Hunter, I've got so many footmen with the Cold Arrow. I can lock the if I'm microing well, which again here I wasn't super clean. I tried to secure the surround, but I missed it. Mud Golem walks up, and I do just barely still get the kill there. The Mud Golem's a pretty strong addition from his end, but it also dies really fast to footmen. And I'm going to throw a Tower Rush in behind this because I know he is tier 2 now, and he's probably going to be looking at some tier 2 stuff, like Dryads or whatever. So I just want to throw all my resources, leverage it into something that he, you know, has to deal with right now, which in this situation is going to be towers. I need to repair this. If I'm not careful, he can kill these towers really quick. But if I have enough peasants, I'll just repair. I've got so much resources. Like I got 700 lumber, so losing lumber, bringing the peasants, not a big deal. If these towers go up, that is game over. They're not really close to the tree, but they're close to all his moon wells. And I still got the footmen that he's got to deal with. And I'm still hopefully going to keep producing footmen. So he's going to tilt out and say a bunch of nonsense to me about how I play. But it's like, yeah, okay, bro, it's annoying, but I mean, it's a strategy game. I just picked a strategy that beats your strategy. I didn't even execute it all that well. Like, he want to talk about luck. Like, he's lucky I didn't. He's lucky I thought his hero was, I thought he didn't get his hero yet. Like, he got to creep that camp totally undeterred, only because I sort of made a mistake. Like, I wasn't paying close enough attention to the tavern when he got his hero. So, I didn't have a footman there. I thought I did, but I didn't, so I missed it. If I don't think that, the first camp I'm going to when there's no Ancient Allure in his base, the first camp is going to be that Merc camp. I'm going right there. He's going to be in the middle of creeping it. The Ancient Allure is going to be almost dead. I can probably kill that Ancient Allure, with a few hits, get the experience myself, and then pick up an archer kill. Pick up maybe even 2 archer kills. And then what's he going to do? He's down 2 archers. If I can't kill the archer, I can go for the priest. He can't shadow him on that troll priest. Kill that priest. What is he going to do? He's going to lose the game like 3 minutes sooner if I do that. Like, it's going to be a joke. So honestly, he got lucky. Like, the strategy I picked was just, like, honestly just executed poorly. Like, it could have been way worse. And I mean, it's a strategy game. That's the way it goes, bro. Like, he didn't, I don't know if he scouted me going double barracks. I'm going to go back and look at the replay to see if he even scouted that. I know he did scout me. It's just I don't know if he saw. I don't think he saw the second barracks. Normally I have built a second barracks a little bit further back to make it less likely he swings his wisp by and sees it, but it is what it is. So, double barracks, he did not see the second barracks. Didn't see it. Game is gonna go. Oh, now he sees it. He sent the he sent a Wand of Illusion Beastmaster, and I was a little bit worried that was actually a real one. I was like, oh no, there's some footmen in there that might get sniped, but yeah, I saw, I think I saw a TP in his base. I was like, oh wait, that's an illusion because illusion wasn't TPing. So, that would be something if the illusion like showed the animation for a TP, like, but no, that would be a little bit broken probably, and not broken, but a little bit too much. But anyways, he didn't scout it, so it's like, you know, and thus and even now he knows I have so many like he should have known like this was a super aggressive strategy. Throw up a second ancient war in your base, you know. But he especially once he like pushed me out. I gave him a little bit of breathing room when I pulled back. Like he could have built another ancient war like here. I could have started a protector or something. He didn't do any of this stuff. Even if as these towers are going up, he's got like 300 gold, not building anything, not building, just getting mercenaries. Where did the rest of his reach? Oh, he just rebuilt his hero. Okay, well, I guess once he rebuilt his hero, it was like 130 gold. But just that's the name of the strategy. Like he spent a bunch of resources on this lore. It's way over here. Not getting a dryad, not getting a protector, not getting doesn't have an ancient war. And that's the thing with doing this risky strategy and losing the ancient war was the biggest mistake. Because imagine if he just brings the ancient war back. Like at least he has an ancient war in the mix to try to deal with this. It's like having another. It's almost like having like a bear worth of damage output, like in tier 1 and 2. Like so, yeah. It's just that's like I said. It's just a strategy. Like I'm all in. Like if that fails, like your tech is there. Your hero is probably leveled more than me. It actually wasn't. I don't think, but we're both 3. Yeah, slight advantage in experience gain, but he had lost his main hero, so that was partially like if I knock down the, I mean I get a bunch of experience for it, but like it's such a big loss that main hero, like you know, he was able to kill like more units slightly than me, and some of that was creeping for sure too, but I basically didn't creep any camps. And again, that it doesn't really matter about creeping the camps if you are creeping their like if you're killing their units and you know getting sort of almost equal experience like 3-3 on our heroes. Like it doesn't matter that you didn't. The one thing that does matter is you won't get items, and you possibly won't get access to mercenaries. But just imagine if I'm at that merc camp harassing him when he's still creeping it. It's terrible. I can pick up the mercs myself too. Sometimes I'll do that. Like I'll grab the troll berserker when it pops up, and that's gonna be very powerful. You know, if I do that, denies it to him. You know, if I can test it and actually grab one of the mercs, you know, and he can't get it. I mean, how good was it that he opened the merc? He got the troll priest, which is super easy to snipe. So, you know, did he really do himself a, you know, was it really good that he got the troll priest? You know, you never know. Um, so yeah, that's you know sort of what I'll say about the strategy. Again, he's gonna talk trash about it. I mean, I don't care. You know, you know, it's not like I drug the game out making towers and you know did a strategy that was like you know obnoxious to deal with. I mean, it's obnoxious to deal with it if you hard tech and you lose your ancient war creeping and you creep far away from your base with an ancient war. You take a really big camp with like 3 archers. I mean, you know, it's a trade off to every decision you make in this game. Like I'll say that whatever your strategy is, if you decide to tech, there's cost to that decision in the game. There's cost. The cost is you spend a bunch of resources, and it doesn't do anything really useful until your tech is done. If you start a second hero at your altar, doesn't do anything until it finishes. 0. Anytime you build a unit, anytime you get any upgrade, the only thing that are like instant, possibly, are items. You can buy an item, use it instantly. You know, you grab a tavern hero, use it instant. It comes up instantly. You mercenaries, instant. You know, those are the instant things. You know that happen. You know, even an expansion, you know, is an investment. It doesn't pay off until like several minutes later. It breaks even, and you know, you can start making a profit. You know, it's an investment. You know, that's sort of what all these like a second hero that you train at the altar, an investment, a tech, an investment. You know, building an arcane sanctum, building a barracks. You know, an investment. You know, and they don't pay off immediately. They just don't. So, um, so yeah, you know, in terms of like when you want to attack a strategy, uh, basically you want to attack it before the investments pay off. I mean, it's like a weird way to look at it, honestly, but in some other sort of aspects, it's a very straightforward, logical way to look at it. Yeah, you can sort of, flesh the ideas out with, stuff like damage types and armor types and hero levels and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And to really sort of play the game well, you will consider it in those ways. But at the sort of foundational, sort of conceptual level, it's like sort of a, what's the word? Sort of a numbers game, a value game. It's like how much, how many units do you have? How much damage can you leverage? The items, all of it comes out sort of like, a game, sort of a battle of resources and resource usage, um, so to speak. And, yeah, the resources are all different. It's like units are resources, items are resources, hero experience are resources, gold, lumber, you know, um, time in some sense is a resource. If you waste time in the game, you sit there do nothing for 20 seconds. Well, you're blowing. You're just blowing the game. What are you doing? So that's why you won't see really good players in most circumstances just sitting there doing nothing. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes the best choice is doesn't require you to do anything too drastic or aggressive or whatever. But like typically there's going to be something useful for you to do. Go creep, go get into a better position, you know, uh, go grab some items, do this, do that, go attack, you so yeah, in sort of the situations where that's those are better options, then if you don't do those things, you're wasting your time. If you're sitting there, you're wasting time that could be, that those seconds could be valuable. A few seconds doesn't sound like a lot. There's a 10, you start to get 10, 20 seconds. I mean, would you sit there for 20 seconds at the beginning of the game and do nothing and expect you're gonna have a good chance to win? I think you're hurting yourself to do that. Now, yeah, if you start mining, then you go up here for 20 seconds. Okay, but still, it's still gonna really hurt you. So you don't do that. Like if you hope to win, generally, if you can help it. But anyways, though, the guy didn't really do that. He did not. He was sitting on resources, and he wasn't like getting an extra ancient of war. He didn't get an ancient protector. All this stuff. Could have done. He didn't. So, um, but so it goes. So I don't think he leveraged his resources correctly eventually. And it cost him. It cost him the game. It wasn't a particularly hard game for me to win. Even though I made a massive blunder in terms of the strategy. Like when you do an all-in strategy like that, you don't want to just give them a free creep camp like the Merc camp. Like the whole point of the strategy is to attack them right at that timing where they're possibly doing that. I sort of did going for the wisp or whatever, but the really the best target in that early game was his archers. They were wide open, and or the troll priest, and or his ancient of war. All that stuff was like that was the juicy target. Like the wisps were secondary targets. Killing them was something, but that was more like an investment. The wisps take a long time to get their value harvesting lumber. The longer they have those wisps, the better they the more value they potentially get to a certain extent. I mean, a million lumber, you don't really, who cares, if they're sitting there for 20 minutes, but you probably don't need that much lumber, but maybe you do, later in the game you will. So, but anyways, it's like the really big impact units in the early game are going to be the archers and stuff. That losing an archer is a big loss of DPS. If he's got only 3 archers, that's a big chunk of his DPS. Killing 1, 2, 3 archers, killing a troll, possibly killing his hero. These are big immediate impacts. You get more experience, you take away their damage, and it's 130 gold per archer, it's 60 gold for a wisp. So, you have every 2 wisps, you could kill 1 archer, it'd be, possibly worth about 2 wisps. So, or vice versa. So, So yeah, another thing is if you start losing, like you don't really want to like you don't want to trade footmen for wisps. Like I know I don't even mean like 2 wisps per footman. You don't really want to lose footmen because if you end up killing all of their wisps, wisps don't take a long. They don't take a lot of resources to rebuild. And they don't take a lot of time to rebuild. The problem that happens if you trade footmen for wisps is eventually they're just gonna have a massive army and they're gonna level their hero. And yeah, you might level your hero, but if you don't have any footmen, like you're gonna get obliterated the next time you fight. So and again, like I said, it takes longer to I think it's like 15 seconds to build a wisp, and it's like 20 seconds. Well, that's not such a massive difference. I don't know. Is it 15 seconds for a wisp? I don't know. I could look it up. I guess I will look it up just to be sure. To give you wrong information or anything like that. 14. That was close. 14 seconds. I think it's 15 for a peasant, and a peon and stuff. But, anyways, 14 seconds to build a wisp. Footman probably 20 seconds if I remember correctly. Maybe 17. 20. Okay, 20 seconds. I think ghouls are probably like 17 or something, 18. Um, but yeah, the main thing is the amount, like being able to fight a battle. If you lose too many footmen and you can't fight a battle, well, now what's your all in? Like you're doing an all in strategy and you've lost the momentum. Like that's not gonna work out typically. Like they're gonna be in a stronger position, and then they bully you. You don't want if you're going all in and you lose and they end up with a bigger army, you've made a massive mistake. Um, so so yeah, you can't really afford to do that. But the thing is if you're just killing wisp and they're not hitting you, like there's no archers or anything hitting you, they're basically free kills or free, forcing them to detonate is not quite as good as a kill, but in terms of the impact, it does hurt them. Um, but yeah, if they do detonate it or detonate them, that's pretty. It does mitigate a lot of your advantage. But if you just do that for free, I mean, like a lot of times it's you can't be mad just to get a bunch of free wisp kills. Um, but you would rather attack him in the middle of creeping that camp. Like it's the danger of him like completely losing the game in that scenario is like losing 3 or 4 wisps is not gonna lose you the game right on the spot. Like it might lose you the game, but it'll take you still will have to like fight the army and stuff and do that. If you knock out 2 archers out of 3 and you kill his ancient of war and you stop him from finishing the creep camp and then maybe you buy one of the mercenaries, the game is over. Like it's gonna be very hard for you to throw the game at that point. Like so so in terms of like when you can like just take control of a game, it's important to like I like to play the game where you try to find those moments and seize them as it were. Um, and also create them, with your strategy. Obviously, doing this all-in type of strategy, that's what what I'm trying to do is to hit those moments and just win the game. Like, you know, it's some people are gonna say, oh, it's cheesy. You're just massing footmen and da 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 in this hero, and you're lucky and da da da. I was like, yeah, okay, well, we can run, we can run the game again. Next time you see me, maybe not doing the same strategy, and we'll see what you can do to counter it. And yeah, maybe there is a great strategy for you to counter it. I'm sure, definitely based on what he did, not losing the Ancient of War, but building an Ancient of War in his main when he sees that I'm going all in like this. When he sees I have a Naga, building a Protector. I can name off a whole bunch of things that he could do that would give him a better shot to fight this off. I'm not gonna tell him that, especially not when he's like being obnoxious. in the loss, but sore loser. But yeah, certainly if he's smart, he will adjust his own strategy and try to fight mine. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's a strategy game. You're gonna do a strategy. I'm gonna do a strategy, and we're gonna execute it as well as we can, and we're gonna see who's the better player in that particular game. And then, you see me again. Maybe I'm doing the strategy, maybe I'm not. But whatever it is, we're gonna have another game of who's doing the better strategy, who's like executing it the best, who's maybe getting the best items sometimes, um, or on certain maps. Is it a good strategy on this map, on that map, on whatever? So, and that's just what it is. That's just what Warcraft is. And you want to complain about it. You think it's an imbalanced thing. Pick a different race. Pick a different strategy. Um, the whole reason I like to do this all in strategy is, and the reason I think it's effective, is the way that most elves play the game. A lot of elves play the game just like he did. They'll go for these really aggressive plays. I think his was overly aggressive. I think it's very easy to punish and very hard to, if the enemy is going all in like I did. I didn't even do it that well, but like if I do it well, it's going to be incredibly difficult for him to like hold that and give me a game. He's gonna need to like micro it really well, and he's gonna have to respond really specifically in order to hold, you know, just not to lose in 6 minutes. Like that's just it. Like it's gonna be hard for him. He's gonna have to out micro me and make the correct choices. And if he doesn't, it's gonna be an easy win for me. And that's just based on what choices he made and what choices I made. Like it's straightforward. I mean, it is what it is. And like I said, if you want to complain, I mean, that's complain away. I don't care. So so yeah, and there are strategies I complain about too, like some like towers and stuff. And so again, I'm not even saying I'm not even gonna try to argue that defend is not an overly powerful ability. It is a very powerful ability, specifically against elf, specifically against you know a lot of races, honestly. But as long as it's in the game, as long as I'm playing human, I mean, of course I'm going to use it. I'm not going to handicap myself just because some people think it's, overpowered. Like I said, if you think it's overpowered, do it yourself. Do you find it boring? Well, go do something else. If you think it's too strong, don't construct an army of almost entirely piercing damage. Then defend doesn't matter. Is it the fact that I'm mass footman? You think just smash footmen win games? Maybe they do. They are strong. I'm not saying that they don't, but it's not just smash footmen that I'm attacking a specific strategy when I do this. So you know, what can I say? It's effective against that strategy. That's the whole point. So and rather than saying, "Oh man, that's really strong. It's a strategy. This guy's gonna like try to like toss insults at me," like don't make me laugh, bro. Like, or do make me laugh. I mean, honestly, it's whatever. But people people are silly. Again, I've been where he is. There's stuff I complain about this game. Defend is one of the things I think they could tone down, honestly. But again, as long as it's there and as long as it's part of the meta, part of the conversation, part of the game, then you're gonna have to deal with it, or or don't play the races or don't do the strategies that you think it's strong against. Like, it's as straightforward as that. Now, again, I don't. Obviously, I think there's plenty of ways to counter like all-in push like this. If he builds his Ancient War as main, he doesn't do that aggressive creeping. It's going to be a totally different scenario. I'm not running in there. I'm going to risk getting hit by the Ancient War. So I'm going to have to play it a little bit differently. If he throws up another Ancient War in his base, if he throws up a Protector, if he gets a certain kind of hero, if he has a panda, if he has a keeper, if he has this or that, there's going to be different ways to play against these heroes. If he has a demon hunter, different ways to play, different ways for me to mess up and throw the game, different ways for him to do it. So, that's it's all it is, and I've complained about strategies before, and I do think certain kinds of strategies are really like towering up your base with a million towers. It's not that it's like, I wouldn't say it's overpowered anymore, let's say, because a lot of races have a lot of options to deal with that. But it's just like it needlessly prolongs a lot of games, I would say. And again, it's same retort though to that. Like it's part of the game. It's not an instant win or anything like that. There are counters for towers. There are counters for footmen. There are counters for defend. Plenty of counters to go around. The game is relatively well balanced these days, I would say. Um, I still do a few tweaks, but you know, part of the game. If you choose to play, then you got to deal with whatever they choose in the game. Like that's just as long as it's not a glitch or a hack or something. It's just silly to complain. I mean, it's not that it's silly to complain. It's silly to complain to me because I don't. I'm not the balance person. I don't control the balance of the game. I just play it. So you might argue I control the balance of whatever strategy I do, but yep, you're right. But I'm trying to give myself the best chance to win. So if I'm playing the race, I'm not gonna just say, "Oh, footman too strong, defend too strong." Why would I do that? It's like people. The other thing is people are silly. Like, why is he ancient war creeping? Why is he going Beastmaster, Bears, Archers like that? Is he doing it because I don't know? He thinks it's a powerful strategy. Does he think it's the noble thing to do? Like, don't be ridiculous. Like, he thinks it's a good strategy because he thinks it's effective. Same reason I think going defend and massing footmen against that is effective. Because I'm not playing a charity case here. I'm not trying to make give my opponent a good time. I'm trying to win. Not that I want him to have a bad time, let's say, but anyways, it's just people are so silly. Like what makes one thing more imbalanced than the other? Like if I go rifleman, let's say, and let him just ancient war creep and expand all over the place, like is that gonna make him happy? Like is it only balanced as if I handicap myself so he can win? Like I don't. It's just goofy. Like you worry about defend if that's what he thinks. He didn't even specifically say that was maybe it's a tower push. I think you said that before I towered though, but or maybe me it's not that I didn't even like avoid his army. Like I came right over to his base and like fought him. Like I don't. People are just goofy. Like I don't know. Like but anyways, that's gonna be the end of this audio. I found that just the anger just sort of silly. And that was before in my head I was thinking, oh man, he hasn't even seen the the coup de grace, the big flourish at the end, the towers. Have you thought the footman mass would defend and Naga was was too much? Wait till he sees like 10 peasants in his base building towers. And then he did. He just laughed. He didn't even say anything. Oh no, he did. He said I was lucky or something. I don't know, but like, come on, dude. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, anyway, gave me a bit of a laugh there. So it's gonna be the end of the audio though. ScryMind signing out.